Welcome back to this special explainer. Today, we're diving deep into something really fascinating. We're decoding a deeply mystical meditation vision straight from the Guru Siyag tradition. We'll be looking at a recorded dialogue between devoted practitioners, unpacking some seriously esoteric symbols, and figuring out what they actually mean for our own spiritual journeys. Let's get right into it.
To keep us on track, here's our map of the mystery. We're going to quickly cover 1. The mystery of the live golden fish. 2. Anatlok and souls. 3. The meaning of the 2 secret stones. 4. Maya versus spiritual energy. And finally, number 5. Continuous divine consciousness.
All right, kicking things off with section 1, the mystery of the live golden fish. I want you to really picture this scene. It's vivid, and it's completely surreal. You've got the spiritual guide Gurudev sitting by a tranquil pond, just relaxing with his feet in the water. Nearby, kids are knocking mangoes out of the trees. He takes a bite of this ripe, yellow mango, asks for the rest to be shared, and then his focus shifts entirely to the water. He starts feeding these incredibly unique aquatic creatures. We're talking active, jumping fishes made entirely out of solid, living gold.
So the sequence goes exactly like this. First, you have that peaceful pond setting. Second, the golden fishes are literally leaping out to be fed. And then comes the third step, the real inciting incident. A specific golden fish struggles right at Gurudev's feet. He picks it up, reaches into its mouth, and pulls out 2 bright glowing stones before gently tossing the fish back into the water.
Now, the practitioners didn't just sit around guessing what this meant. They took this exact question straight to the channeled divine entity, Nandi. Which brings us to the ultimate question we're answering today. What is the true meaning of these living golden fishes?
Moving right along to section 2, Anatlok and souls.
So Nandi drops a major revelation here. This vision, it's not happening on Earth. It's actually taking place in Anatlok. If you're not familiar, this is the infinite realm of Lord Vishnu. It's this boundless, divine space that essentially governs every other plane of existence. It is the ultimate source of all cosmic energy.
And here is the absolute kicker. Those golden creatures, they aren't actually fish at all. Nandi explains they symbolize souls who possess free will. They're in this progressive, elevated state in the afterlife, and they've made the conscious, joyful choice to just stay right there in the continuous stream of the Lord's divine nectar. There's no karma binding them down here, just pure free will, choosing to bathe in that loving presence.
Okay, section 3, the meaning of the 2 secret stones.
Remember those glowing stones pulled from the fish's mouth? Well, Gurudev hands them to figures sitting behind him and calls them Gupt Mananna. Basically, this translates to a hidden divine responsibility. It's a highly specific, concentrated dose of energy entrusted directly by the Guru to followers on Earth, and it's meant to be utilized for the greater spiritual mission. And through this dialogue, Nandi actually names names. This heavy responsibility is handed over to 2 devoted followers, Bhanwar Singh and Dharmendra. But there's also a third, unseen disciple in the mix. Nandi reveals this mysterious third person as Goswami and explains that this soul is currently living on the physical plane as a child. It's just a brilliant example of how divine energy purposefully targets its instruments, completely crossing time and space.
Which brings us to section 4, Maya versus spiritual energy.
During their discussion, the practitioners bring up a really relatable point. And honestly, it's pretty funny, but also super profound. Think about it from a purely material view. Finding a solid gold fish that weighs 3 to 5 kilos, that's an instant fortune, right? That pays for weddings, houses, worldly comforts, you name it. But from the spiritual view, the mind immediately recognizes this as a test. The true value isn't the shiny metal, it's the divine soul that the gold represents.
It's essentially a pop quiz administered by Maya, or illusion. The disciples realized that because they didn't feel an ounce of greed when they saw the golden fish, they easily passed the test. Those who are securely anchored in the Guru's energy, they pass this stuff effortlessly because they value that eternal connection way more than any temporary worldly wealth.
Finally, section 5, continuous divine consciousness.
The practitioners understandably asked about the timeline for all this divine work, especially since our world right now is so heavily clouded by what they call tamogani forces. These are those dark, ignorant, or negative energies we see so much of today.
But the source text reveals that despite all that negativity, the divine inner consciousness transmitted by the Guru is quietly and relentlessly working to dismantle those forces from the inside out. And Nandi gives this incredibly profound guarantee. He reassures the followers that their work on earth is far from over. Why? Because the Guru's energy simply will not stop. It's going to relentlessly flow and expand until it touches and transforms the very last human being. It's this continuous, completely unstoppable wave of spiritual awakening.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I'm going to leave you with this to reflect on. We've seen exactly how this divine energy operates, how souls interact with it, and how it's destined to keep expanding. If this transformative energy is constantly flowing outward, destined to eventually reach the very last person on earth, how are you preparing yourself to receive it? Thanks so much for exploring this mystery with me today.
गुरुदेव महेश्वर गुरु साक्षात परब्रह्म तस्मै गुरुवे नमः। समझे ना? तो अब मैं आपको मंत्र बता दूं, आप उसको खुला बता सकते हो जिसको चाहो। अब ये लाइव हो गया, पूरे आपके रिश्तेदारों को बताइए जो मैं अभी बता रहा हूं, इसमें आप कोई रोक नहीं है। हर जाति के लोगों को बताइए। वेस्ट में आपके कोई लोग है तो उनको लिख के भेज दीजिए। एक छोटा सा शब्द है, बीज मंत्र है। बीज मंत्र इसलिए कहा है इसको कि बरगद के पेड़ का बीज राई के दाने जितना 1 किलोमीटर फैलेगा, उस बीज में दिखता है क्या? तो ये क्या आधा लय में मिला हुआ, बड़ी ही की मात्रा और बिंदी, उसको बोलते हैं क्लिंग। कई लोग क्लीम मैं बोलते, क्लीम मैं नहीं, क्लिंग है। अंग अंग बोलो, आप अभी बोलो अंग तो यहाँ स्ट्रोक लगेगा, अंग यहाँ स्ट्रोक लगा। तो उसको जपने के लिए हमारे संतों ने उसको जपाया, बताया क्लिंग क्रिएशन क्लिंग, क्लिंग क्रिएशन क्लिंग, क्लिंग क्रिएशन क्लिंग। तो अब आप जपो क्लिंग क्रिएशन क्लिंग, क्लिंग क्रिएशन क्लिंग, क्लिंग क्रिएशन क्लिंग। खिचड़ी भी लगेगी। अभी ये पर्चे बांट देते हैं आपको छोरे, पर्चा कोई देख ले, आप बात नहीं। आप सबको कह सकते हो कि ये जपो क्लिंग क्रिएशन क्लिंग, क्लिंग। आप जपो, आप खुद कह दो। आप जब बताओगे तो मुझसे जुड़ जाओगे ना, आप नहीं फिर मैं बोलूंगा।